All right, Knicks fans, let's talk about it. Mohamed Diawara is a New York Knick. Last night, the New York Knicks just drafted their brand new player who will be playing this summer for the New York Knicks in the Summer League with all the rookies from last year's class of Tyler Kolek, right? Ariel Hook-Porty and the boys, Kevin McCullough Jr., Pacome Daddier, who, by the way, Mohamed is friends with, both being from France. In this video, I want to give you a deep dive of all the things I've learned about Mohamed watching his highlights, as you can see on the screen here. I'm excited to break it all down. The highlights you're seeing is from the U18 European Championship back in 2023. So this is an intriguing prospect for a lot of different reasons, and I'm seeing a lot of people ask me, hey, Richie, the Knicks get a steal? Listen, the answer is simple for me. We have no idea. Right? We have no idea if the New York Knicks got a steal. And I feel like you look at this prospect compared to other prospects that got drafted in the second round, he is a pure project. Okay? That's the difference between a guy like Proctor, who the Knicks just missed out on, by the way, a pick prior to them, who went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But at the end of the day, I do feel like there is some upside here. There is some upside. Tyrese Proctor is definitely a guy that Knicks fans felt like, oh my God, he's going to fall to us at 50. No, he goes to Cleveland, and now the New York Knicks go with the player that's more of a project. Now, the cool thing about this project of Mohamed Diawara is he has all the physical tools needed to be a successful player in the NBA. The question is it going to come together? Is he going to be able to connect via his mind and his body? Is he going to put it all and have a confidence to his game when he goes out there at the next level? Right? We've seen plenty of players for the New York Knicks develop beautifully. Deuce McBride, second-round pick, developed into the role player he is today. Mitchell Robinson, second-round pick, developed into the beast of the man he is today. Ariel Hook-Porty, second-round pick. Even Jericho Sims, second-round pick. Obviously, you know, everybody has their own story to tell, but you can see on the screen here, Mohamed's got some agility. And you talk about being a small forward / power forward, 6'8", 6'9", can put the ball on the floor, can beat you off the dribble, and has a soft touch at the rim, and has potential shooting. He's not a guy that can light it up from downtown, but he is somebody that has a soft touch from beyond the arc. As you can see right here, I mean, Mohamed is someone that can shoot. It's not like he's a liability out there. It's not like he's Mitchell Robinson, where he's got no ability to shoot from beyond the arc, no ability to shoot. So I feel like when you combine the athleticism, you combine the physical tools, the wingspan of 7'4", his wingspan is. I feel like this is someone that you can be molded into a real pro. Now, the funniest thing about this whole thing, folks, is the Knicks don't have a coach who's developing the man. We're like, yeah, we can develop him. Well, we don't even know who's developing him yet. And that's a whole other conversation we're not going to get into in this video. But I do think that the approach for the New York Knicks in this draft was trading back and, of course, acquiring draft rights to an overseas player. And now you bring in somebody like this who was friends with Pacome Daddier, and he's going to be added to the mix of the Westchester Knicks. He's not going to be on the court this year, folks. He's not. I'm not going to sit here and expect him to go out there. Now, the big thing is that there's a lot of changes happening to this Knicks organization. More specifically, the coach is going to be brand new. And I think that we're used to, with Tom Thibodeau, we've grown accustomed to just expecting the kids to never be able to play. I think there's going to be a shift of mindset with whoever head coach we bring in. I have a feeling we're going to see a little bit more young guys go out there. We're going to see Tyler Kolek maybe get some minutes, maybe Pacome Daddier, maybe Ariel Hook-Porty. You never know. Maybe there's another guy that we're going to bring in free agency, which we will, who's young. Or maybe we go veterans. You don't know. We don't know who the coach is. But I feel like when you're diving deep into who Mohamed is, he is the epitome of a late second-round pick project who has the tools. In France, they're becoming a pipeline of talent. The Knicks drafted Pacome Daddier last year. Of course, Victor Wembanyama is the guy that's really putting France on the map, okay? There's been Frenchmen historically throughout the NBA for years, but now we're seeing a little bit more. And I think that their program over there is the real deal. They're always competing with the USA in the Olympics, so they actually have a system in place. And I feel like you look at somebody at this size with Mohamed, the realization I had when the Knicks made this draft pick is like, okay, this is where the NBA is headed, right? It is in this moment, but it's also trending in this direction. Players like this, players that are 6'8", 6'9", and can put the ball on the floor and size you up and go coast to coast with a nice tight ball handle. Being able to shoot the ball. Now, he's not polished. That's the cool thing about him. He's pure development. And that's okay. Some people get upset to hear that word development. I don't want to wait for him to develop. You got to. Every single basketball player in this league, they have their own story to tell. Deuce McBride developed perfectly. So I'm not going to sit here and say the Knicks got a gem and the Knicks just shocked the NBA world by getting him. But if you look back at this draft pick years from now and he's becoming a role player like Mitchell Robinson was early on in his career. I mean, Mitch is a different story because Mitch's development was all about getting so much opportunity because the Knicks were so bad when they drafted him, so there was nobody on the roster to compete with, and he was flourishing in his role. And then, of course, he had the injury concerns, which really held Mitchell Robinson's development back, but now he's the beast now. Deuce McBride, his development was awesome. Going out in Westchester, when his name was called, he went out there and took it and ran with it. So I feel like we're going to see Mohamed Diawara a lot in Westchester. Knicks fans are going to be keeping a close eye on him. And I feel like this is the type of player you want to take a risk on late in the second round. You're not finding someone that's going to come in here and be an impactful player right away. And by the way, those days are done. The days of the New York Knicks drafting somebody in the NBA draft and expecting him to be impactful as a rookie, those days are done. And that's a good thing, by the way. We don't want to be in the lottery. We don't want to draft top 5 anymore. That means we're bad, right? I'd rather, obviously we want to keep our first-round picks, but I'd rather our first-round picks are in the late 20s. That means we're doing something good, okay? So the days of hoping that Kevin Knox is going to come out here and save us are done. The hope that Frank Ntilikina is going to do something. Obi Toppin, all the first-round picks we had in the, 8 to 9 range, and then even RJ Barrett, like all those draft picks where they came in as a rookie and we're like, yes, give him the keys, let's let him run. No, this team is built on young veterans. Jalen Brunson's the face of the team. Karl Anthony Towns is a star on this team. OG Anunoby, like we got our 7 players to be excited about on this roster heading into this season of Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns as a starting 5, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride off the bench. Maybe Mitch starts. Who knows what this next coach is going to do. And there's also a world where one of those 7 or maybe 2 of those 7 players are gone via a trade. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what Leon Rose has up his sleeve. We have no idea, right? So I think this draft pick is all about development. The Knicks are not going into this draft thinking to themselves, we got to find someone that's going to impact this team right away. So with that, I say take a deep breath. And if you're a Knicks fan complaining about this draft pick, I mean, come on, relax. I mean, what are we doing? Let's let the kid figure out who he is before we start boxing him into this bust or anything like that. So that's my thoughts about Mohamed Diawara. Maybe the Knicks got a steal. Maybe they didn't. I can tell you right now, his game definitely feels like if it's developed properly, he could be special in this league if he can put it all together. You want to look for intangibles. You want to look for the things physically in terms of talent that could be worked on. And he looks like he's raw and he could be molded into a monster if the right coaching is in place. So we shall see who the Knicks bring in. Comment your thoughts of the New York Knicks draft pick last night. Love to hear what you guys have to say as always. Hit the like button if you didn't already. And let's go Knicks. Peace.